now we're at the part where we need to pick up for the sleeves and just knit them, and it's very, very simple, but I will show you all of the steps involved. Let's do this. We have knit up until this part here. So basically we have this now, and we need to pick up for the sleeves, and then we need to knit the remaining part of the sleeve. And what we need to do, obviously, is to get our needles. If you follow the pattern, you will have your needles free. So you won't have this mess that I'm in now, where I have needles down here, but I haven't knit the rest. But we're just going to take another pair of needles, and then we're going to pick up these stitches and knit them. Okay, so what we need to do is just find the first stitch, and you can just pull it up with the yarn here. So I'm just taking a piece of yarn on either side of the stitch and just pulling, and then you can insert your needle into it. Of course, if they're all sort of standing up and you have no problem getting at them, there's no point in pulling. But if you have something that looks like this, like mine, you're probably going to have to work a little to get at the first couple of stitches. I don't know, but this always happens to me, that it sort of gets eaten by the yarn. Okay, so after the first couple of stitches, normally get to a point where it's a little bit easier, and you can just pick them up as they are. And obviously you're trying to avoid stabbing through the white yarn, so whatever yarn you used to put your needles on, no, your stitches on, hold on, that needs to be free of the needles. It's not really a problem if you stab through it once or twice, but it's going to be really annoying if you if you always go through that. So just try and avoid doing that. Okay, so after the first couple, it starts getting a lot easier, and you can just go through it. So as you can see here, you just have a stitch popping up, and you can just go through it and move on. And every so often, just put them out on the needle. No, sorry, on the cable. And then just pull the waste yarn through. So now you've picked up stitches. And I'll just pick up the rest of the round, and then I will come back and show you what to do here. So that was the last of the stitches, and we now have picked up all the way around, but we have a little bit of a hole here, or a gap, if you will. If we just continue working here, we'll have a little bit of a hole. And it's not necessarily a problem, but we also want to adjust the amount of stitches we have on the round in order to make our ribbing look better once we get to that. So basically, when we get to the end of the sleeve, we want to be able to make a little bit of 2x2 ribbing. 2x2 ribbing consists of 4 stitches, and therefore we need some sort of number that can be devised, that 4 goes into. That's what I'm trying to say. So in the pattern there is instructions for how many you need to cast on, and you don't need to actually cast on anything. You need to pick up new stitches from this gap down here. So we'll accomplish two things. We will close the gap a little bit, and we will adjust our stitch count. So yarn here. And there are several different ways of doing this. I think if you're a more accomplished knitter, you will be able to just use your knitting needle to just go in somewhere here in between. Just go under some yarn, grab the yarn that you need to attach, and then just pull it through. And if this is hard, and I think it is, I have a different way that, oh no, actually this goes kind of nicely. Normally I don't do this at all because it's just so, yeah, I think it's difficult. But you could do it like this, or you could get a crochet hook and you could just do the same thing. So you go in where you need the yarn to be. You grab the yarn here and then you go through, and then just space out. It's going to be 2 or 4 stitches probably that you need to cast on. So let's do 4. That'll be this. And then you can come with your needle and just pick up, obviously in the right, from the right direction. You could just go in and pick up those 4 new stitches. To move on, you would just continue working, oops. So we'll work these stitches when we come back. Right now they haven't been knit at all. And you'll just knit in the round. And when you get back to the new stitches that you have cast on, just knit them. So again, I am working in magic loop because that's my preference. You can see my cable here. But if you prefer something else, obviously that would either be DPNs, or you would have a little, a small pair of circular needles to work on, and that is fine too. I just prefer this method. So just continue working down through the sleeve, and then at the end you would switch to ribbing and finish it. And the only thing I really want to say regarding that is when you get to the end here, there are many different ways of casting off, and I will link you to a few videos so that you can see different ways. It's really important that you choose something that is stretchy, so that the first of all, so that the ribbing can contract properly, but also so that you have enough stretch. Thank you so much for watching. I hope to see you again next Friday, where I'll show you how to install the zipper, and perhaps we will talk a little bit about how to make a hoodie for it too, if I don't know, I haven't decided yet.